Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercising my First Amendment rights vlog style. 2016 sucked. And I'm not just talking about the election. The election was shit from the start, but you already knew that. But the year overall was just depressing, both for me personally and for others as well. And what's more is that there were some pathetic hit songs this year. So now it's time to shamelessly rip off every music reviewer ever by going over my top 10 worst songs of 2016. If you haven't seen my top 10 best songs of 2016 video, I highly suggest you do so. I'll have it linked in the description, as well as annotated at the end of this video. If you're new to this channel, or it's your first time watching my year-end countdowns, let me explain my rules for this list. The songs have to have charted on the Billboard year-end chart for 2016, which I'll have linked in the description for you to observe and confirm that my choices are indeed there. And the songs have to be so garbage that Oscar the Grouch doesn't want them in his can. They probably keep him from getting a decent night's sleep. So, on with the show. Okay, fine, I won't do that. Number 10. Pink is an artist who, for a long time, I've wanted to, at the very least, be able to tolerate. She's had some good songs in the past, like Raise Your Glass and Just Give Me a Reason, her glorious duet with Nate Ruess of Fun, but she also tends to put out really lame songs like Blow Me One Last Kiss and Fucking Perfect. I'm never able to tell if she wants to make genuine pop music, or if she just wants to be that chick with an edge because it helps her stand out among other female pop stars. And here we have Just Like Fire, which is more the same. The verse sounds decent, but then the tone is killed when Pink starts doing these gang vocals, and in the chorus when she goes da 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 da, it just sounds annoying and show-offy. Like, you don't need to do shit like that to prove to me that you're a good singer, but it just sounds like she's trying to impress people there. And she raps in the bridge. It's cringy as fuck when people who aren't known for their rapping ability try to rap. Just like it's annoying whenever rappers try to sing. Sometimes they have a decent voice, but most of the time they sound weak, and they're better off just getting an actual singer to sing the part. I'm sure if Max Martin, it's always Max Martin, got a rapper to come do a guest verse, it would sound passable. All in all, Pink just does too much in this song than she really needs to. If she toned down and didn't rap, the song would not be as bad. But I'm basically left going, please don't do that. Number 9. Excuse me? Come again? I still don't understand. Fuck it, let's go to Google. Really? Okay, let me try to listen to it again. This doesn't sound like what the lyrics say! What the fuck is this? Who produced this and who gave it the okay? Whoever you are, quit your job now. This sounds fucking ridiculous and embarrassing. You cannot just mishmash sound bites of random syllables and call it a hit song. This isn't a YouTube poop. But even if this was supposed to be a YouTube poop, just about all the YouTube poopers I know of know how to properly do this thing called sentence mixing. People like I Teach Vader and Dinner Warrior are good at that. Kiara and this sorry excuse for a producer, Felix Snow, are just lazy. Kiara actually sounds coherent in pretty much every other part of the song other than the goddamn chorus. Why? Why do you sound decent everywhere but the chorus? Why do you resort to sounding like a malfunctioning cassette tape in the chorus, but actually sing everywhere else? Consistency! The song is garbage. Whoever's idea this was, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Why is the song so low on this list? Because I feel it's too easy of a song to bash. That's it. Fuck you. Moving on. Number 8. Here we have Meghan Trainor trying to jump on the duet bandwagon. Again, after that dogshit Marvin Gaye song with Charlie Puth. This time it's with a legitimately talented artist, John Legend. The song was inescapable, at least for me. I normally like a good duet, but there's just nothing that jumps out at me about Like I'm Gonna Lose You. To me, it just sounds like Meghan Trainor trying to force a duet out. She might have even done it to try to make up for how stupid and corny Marvin Gaye was, but the progression ends up sounding repetitive, and there's not much change in the musical elements, and the lyric matter sounds like a generic love ballad. Sorry, Meghan. Sorry, John. But Pink and Nate Ruess did it better, as did A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera. What also sucks is that I expect better from John Legend. He actually makes some good pop music, but this duet is just forgettable and throwaway. Sorry, try again next time. Number 7.
Moment you've been waiting for.
I don't even know why I chose to have the song's title be This Is What You Came For. The word you is used so much in here, I honestly think it would be more fitting to call the song You. Even though it's a really generic title that uses an extremely common word that would make the song hard to look up, and even though Breakin' Benjamin, Queensrÿche, The Pretty Reckless, Gary Moore, Heaven, Sarah Longfield, and probably a shit ton of others already have songs simply called You, it just makes more sense. But yeah, that whole you is way too overused. It's like she records that one thing and Calvin Harris is like, ooh, that sounds cool, let's repeat it a billion times. And thus it gets stuck in your head and annoys the fuck out of you. When I looked at the lyrics, I counted the phrase you 24 times. Why is this not the title of the song? There's really nothing else to the song. There's only one verse in the whole song, and the rest is this whole thing about this girl at a party that everyone's looking at, but she's looking at you, and that of course repeats forever. This is barely a song. I had this exact problem with Rihanna's song Where Have You Been in 2012. There's only 3 main parts in that whole song, and phrases are repeated over and over and over. You know what that's called? Everybody say it with me. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Lazy songwriting! And This Is What You Came For gives us more laziness, but we really can't blame Rihanna because, surprise, she didn't write either of the songs, but Calvin Harris is listed as a writer for the both of them. Fantastic. From now on, I'm gonna call you Calvin Lazy Fuck Harris. Tell your cousin. I'm sure they're interested. Number 6. Now this song was also inescapable. Fifth Harmony is basically a girl group, kinda like the Spice Girls, but unlike the Spice Girls, Fifth Harmony have no personality. The only thing they really have going for them is the fact that that one chick looks pretty much identical to Beyonce. And that doesn't really say much. Last year they had an equally annoying hit with Baby I'm Worth It, which was always hard for me to differentiate with the Weeknd song Earned It, since they both have the same sound, and it jacks the saxophone melody from Talk Dirty by Jason Derulo, which I've always found to be obnoxious. Work From Home basically loops the thing over and over like a 3-chord rock song, and repeats the word work a whopping 94 times, kinda like a certain other song. And the lyrics make me think of an elaborate amateur porn setup involving sending the boyfriend nudes so he can get fired and work from home. You do realize that if he gets fired, he'll need to find another job that will allow him to work from home, right? And when he gets that job, you do realize he'll still have to actually work and not piss his whole day away sleeping around with you. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to earn money to spend on stupid shit for you. You really got to think this shit through. It especially makes me think of amateur porn when she says, "You're the boss at home." It's the kind of cliched, basic sexual innuendo that belongs in really cheesy porn. It's not exactly the kind of shit I want to hear about in pop music. And of course, the song needs a generic rap verse from a generic rapper like Ty Dolla $ign with that cute little $sign in the place of the S. Drive the point home. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, he's gonna fuck her. Cool story. Honestly, this is another one of these entitlement songs that I hope no one actually relates well with. It's one thing to really like having sex, which that's your prerogative and I'm not going to judge you for, but it's quite another thing to bring the guy's job into this. Rather than try to get the guy to build his schedule around having sex with you, why don't you try to work out a system where he can make some time to do the nasty? That sounds much more reasonable, don't you think? Number 5. I'm sure I wasn't the only one who referred to this song as the Elliot Rodger anthem. Why settle for a gentleman when you can have the supreme gentleman? He will treat you better than he can. We should all know the truth about nice guys by now. They're entitled little chodes that view women as weak and in need of a sweeping off of the feet from someone who they don't view as an asshole. AKA them. Which half the time, they don't even know if the guy she's with is really an asshole. For all you know, he could actually be a really swell guy. Dare I say, an actual gentleman? But bottom line, nice guys don't really give a shit about women. They just want to emotionally manipulate them into giving into them, which of course makes them the real assholes. And why this ticks me off is because people like Shawn Mendes here are an embarrassment to actual nice guys. I don't want to brag, but I like to view myself as being a legitimately polite and friendly person, despite the attitudes being conveyed in this video. But I don't need to be a white knight with some underlying sexist views on women in order to be a nice guy. That's not going to get me laid, and it's it's not gonna get you laid either. But Shawn Roger Mendez makes a complete white knight out of himself, and it's cringy as hell to listen to. What girl hasn't heard the shit in these lyrics before? If they're smart, like I'm sure they are, they won't give Shawn any ounce of attention or gratitude, and they'll see right through his bullshit. Take it from me, this is shit I had to learn the hard way. And because I do this simple thing called being myself and not putting on some cheap facade, women actually respect me.
Actually, no. We just think you're a creep. So please, for the love of God, please stop.
I need to go take a walk and do some self-reflection. Number 4. Okay, now that we're done making fun of nice guys, now it's time to make fun of whiny, bratty bitches. Alessia Cara is yet another chick that just has no personality. Her singing in this song is so monotonous. She's singing about being bored at a party, but really, she sounds like the boring one here. Now, I can sympathize with Alessia in the sense that I'm not much of a party guy myself. So you know what I don't do? Put myself in the situation. But if I am in the situation, you know what I don't do there? I don't whine and cry about it or groan on and on like, oh, do I really have to be here? I want to go home. This is fucking boring. Everyone's so annoying. I hate this. If I'm in a party situation, I try to have a good time, try to enjoy the music, which is very hard for me to do, try to kick it with people I'm comfortable around if they're present, and if I can't do so, I leave. And I don't make a scene about it because then I'd look like the asshole. And that's why I hate this song. Alessia Cara just sounds like a pretentious cunt. That and the song just sounds boring as hell. The music just drones on and her voice just sounds bored. I guess I can give her props for matching the mood of the song, but pop songs aren't supposed to sound monotonous and boring. Nobody likes an outright Debbie Downer, so how anyone would be able to tolerate Alessia Cara is beyond me. Hopefully you at least now know that this isn't the environment for you and won't be making the same mistake again. Then again, that will probably mean that her next song would probably be about sleeping late, eating some Fruit Loops, not showering, and just watching Netflix all day. Your life must be awesome. Number 3.
I hate everything about you. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too.
No, I don't want to be anything like you. I hate your music and hate the message you try to push in your songs. You can't see inside my mind, so shut the fuck up. Why does Meghan Trainor sound Russian in the chorus? If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. It sounds like something that someone probably has a fetish for, but to me it sounds creepy. Now I'm all for loving yourself and feeling good about yourself. I'm proud to be a scrawny white nerd who makes videos wearing aviators and talking about music and other dorky bullshit. But Meghan Trainor just sounds arrogant. She's talking down on her audience and that just makes her sound bitchy. The beat also sounds like it was jacked from a Black Eyed Peas song, the one that takes the song I've Had the Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing and wipes its ass with it. And it sounds like that beat, only slower. Meghan Trainor's other songs at least had a bit of a zing to them, terrible as they are, but the beat in Me Too is just as boring as here. Not like we can expect better from the chick that shout out Dear Future Husband, but Me Too is so damn insulting and condescending. So I'll say again, shut the fuck up and stop acting like you know what I'm thinking. Number 2. Oh god, this song. Why do people like this song? It sounds so damn stupid and incoherent. It's like gold in the sense that as long as you make random noises and follow the melody, you basically know the words. I'm actually curious as to what the lyrics actually are, so let's bring up Google again. You're a fucking professional singer! You should know how to enunciate! But since you don't, it sounds like stupid gibberish. I find it funny how she's trying to say dirt, but it sounds like der. It might as well be der or derp, as that's what the entire song sounds like, so it works just as well. And funny enough, the lyrics make no sense even if I read them online, so it just sounds like Rihanna isn't even trying. It's like her version of 7-Eleven, and we all remember how idiotic that song sounded, so like with Beyonce, I'm gonna ask a general question. Why do people like Rihanna? Where is this talent I'm supposed to be seeing? And what is it about this song that is so damn great? It's about work and how much women have to work all the time. It's a female empowerment anthem. How is it an anthem when it doesn't sound anthemic? And really, the female empowerment argument? These lyrics make no goddamn sense. So how do you know it's an empowerment song like Hard Knock Life from Annie? I don't understand how anyone can defend this laziness. Seriously, if we're supposed to view Rihanna as being one of the biggest talents of this generation, wouldn't there be more effort being put into her songs and less effort being wasted on stupid shit like this? Oh, what do I care? It's Rihanna. It's not like I ever really expected much from her in the first place. I have a couple dishonorable mentions I want to briefly talk about. They both charted on the year-end chart, but I didn't really have enough to say about them, and they didn't push me on the annoying scale. The first is Jumpman by Drake and Future, which is mainly here for the constant repetition of the word Jumpman. 35 times it repeats. Honestly, Buckethead's Jumpman from Monsters and Robots is a much nicer listen than this. And I believe Buckethead wrote that song about Michael Jordan, whom Buckethead is a big fan of, so much that his song Jordan that was in Guitar Hero 2 was also about him. With Drake and Future, I do not see any Michael Jordan references or even basketball references. Not even a Space Jam joke. The second dishonorable mention is Hideaway by Daya, which is basically the female equivalent of Treat You Better.
Where are all the good men at?
I'd answer your question, but I'm worried I might end up enabling the nice guy method you hate so much. So I'm not gonna answer your question. Ready to not be surprised? Can you really blame me for having Meghan Trainor top this list again? This song is yet another reason as to why Meghan Trainor is fucking horrible. The Fat Acceptance anthem wasn't enough, neither was the spoiled entitled bitch anthem, and neither was the arrogant and condescending I Love Myself song. Now we have this song that's just called No, which is kind of fitting because no is how my body reacts whenever I hear this or any other Meghan Trainor song. This time it's an anthem about telling a guy that you're not interested. And like with Me Too, it's arrogant, condescending, and just insulting. Like, there's a better way to let a guy know that you're not interested than just saying no every time he tries to start a conversation. That just makes you sound like a rude cunt. Do people even talk about astrology when they meet for the first time? That seems like such a random thing to ask somebody about. Now I agree that if a guy, or girl for that matter, is annoying you, they should leave you alone when you ask them to. But for the love of God, be polite about it. Politeness is respected. Shit like this is not. If a woman were to be up in my face going,
No, 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 no,
when I'm not even acting out of line, I could see myself getting verbally violent, and then I'd look like the asshole. Negativity has a way of transferring from person to person until, what do you know, you pretty much ruined everyone else's good time. And the context seems to be implying that the song takes place at a club or a bar. Why would you insert yourself into either of these two scenarios in which people generally go to meet and hook up with people if getting a man is not your priority? If it's not your priority, then do something else with your time. Your priorities sound out of order anyway. Also, something else about the lyrics. Why do you complain about how unoriginal it is when a guy calls you beautiful and says that you're not like other girls, but then go on one song later to say,
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too.
Does that not imply that you are indeed not like other girls? Oh, I get it. It's fine for you to say it, but not for a guy to say it. Yes. Meghan Trainor has got to go. I'm tired of her. I'm sick of the messages she tries to convey. She would have had some potential as some kind of a throwback artist like Grace Potter and the Nocturnals, Gary Clark Jr., Buck Cherry, or even The Darkness, but she's wasting that potential on shitty songs with insulting points. She is pretty much the embodiment of why I hate the Tumblr generation, why I dislike most socially liberal millennials, and why I and others cringe at modern feminism. As a wise man by the name of Frank once said, "It's time to stop!" And on that note, it's time for me to stop this video. 2016 sucked salty, unwashed balls, but I hope it wasn't completely awful. I did some cool things this year, so it didn't totally suck, but on the whole it was depressing. So I hope this video was able to brighten your day. Thank you for watching this video, and here's to hoping for a better 2017. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next time.